Donald Trump is masculinity just through and through, and that is exactly what we need. That is exactly what's happened. Is masculinity has stepped down, and feminists said, oh, you can't have those clubs with just men, and you can't have your football team where just little boys can be little boys. And slowly masculinity said, okay, to the point where it no longer performed its function, which is saying no. Those little boys are going to have their game and they're going to have their football team without a girl in the team, which messes up the dynamic, completely. You got a bunch of boys together, you bring in a girl, everything changes. And we're not going to do that to those little boys. They get to have their team just like the girls get to have theirs without a transsexual on it. The answer is no. When Bruce Jenner was Woman of the Year, men should have, and that's not women's place. Women don't say no very much. When your father gets home, because that's what men are good at. We're sort of a blunt instrument, and we say no, and we should have said, you're not going to be Woman of the Year. You're a man. We're not going to disrespect our women like that, and we should have stood up and stopped that, but we stopped standing up, and Donald Trump is masculinity made over, and that's exactly what we need right now, and it is painful, and it is just like daddy coming home. It's scary, and it hurts, and that's what needs to happen. But what's very interesting is, most of us have masculine and feminine. I'm pretty much half with masculine and feminine in my, traits. But Donald Trump is like 95% masculine, but his 5% that is feminine is the way he fights. Because men, most of us fight physically if it comes down to it. And, we're just fist fighters and back alleys and parking lots. Those were fun times. But Donald Trump is not a physical violence fighter. What he does is the feminine way of defense, which is character assassination. And he is unbelievably good at it. I mean, he's taken a masculine drive and added it to a feminine characteristic of character assassination, and he can just destroy people. He is just ruthless, but that's a very feminine trait, and probably his only feminine trait. But that is exactly what we need in this country right now, is for masculinity to stand up, start protecting women, start saying no, protecting little boys, let them have their football team, start protecting all the children. Transsexuals do not have read-alouds with children ever. And you need masculinity to stand up and insist on that.